Okay, so finishing up lesson or chapter 7, lesson 13. We will, as always, go over homework review. Then there are 2 dialogues that we are going to read through in the chapter Robato San no Ichinichi. And then there's only really 2 grammar points left for this chapter, and with, well, 1.5 really, because the Mashoka we already encountered before, but we'll also cover another usage of Mashoka. Then there is a page in the Genki textbook that talks about directions. We'll use the J form for that, just looking over our existing knowledge of directions. Jameson has his compass as well. So using the information we have to talk about directions, giving directions. And as always, there's going to be some kanji. And in case we have some time left, I also want to bring back essentially the whiteboard or the digital whiteboard where you can draw on, and I can kind of review together with you some of the things we can already write. So I have not forgotten that that was something that was valuable to you, but just that there's a lot of stuff to cover. Okay, but first of all, remember how to say today is the 21st of February.
So 21st, isn't there a special way to say 21st?
Yeah, 21st is actually regular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 20th day would be Hatsuka.
Hatsuka. Okay, so 21.
Remember what Sunday is? How do you say Sunday?
Nichiyobi.
So
Nichi?
Yeah, Nichi, Ichi, Nichi.
Oh my god, that's confusing. Nijuichi, Nichi, ni. Oh, fuck.
Is it Nigatsu?
Yay, Nigatsu. Very good. So, 今日は2月21日です。We have 2, 10, and then we have ichi, nichi. Sounds a little bit like a tongue breaker, a tongue twister, not breaker. But yeah, this is regular, right? We have niju for 20, ichi, attach 1 to it, and then nichi for day. So niju, ichi, nichi. So last week actually would have been irregular, right? So it would be Nigatsu, and it was the 14th. And there we have Juyokka. Valentine deshita. Valentine Day deshita. Hi. Okay.
Is there standardization for the order? Is it always month then day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a lot of conjugation practice in the workbook. I'm just going to go over these quickly. You always have time to refer to them later. So let's start with page 59, the Ichidan Doshi, what Genki calls do verbs. We were asked to, given the English verb, to write down the dictionary form, the te form, and the mas form, right? So for to open, we learned akeru, then the te form would be akite, and then the mas form would be akemas. Close, shimeru, shimete, shimemasu. Teach, osieru, osiete, osiemasu. Forget, wasureru, wasurete, wasuremasu. Get off, like to get off a train, for example, right? Or a horse or whatever, like anything that you would more or less ride. Oriru, orite, orimasu. To borrow, kariu, karite, karimasu. To take a shower is shawa, like shower, shawa o. And then we don't say toru or suru, we say shawa o abiru. So it would be shawa o abite and shawa o abimasu. And then to turn on, like to turn on a light, like denki o tsukeru. So tsukeru becomes tsukete, tsukemasu. Next on the same page 59, and then going into page 60, we have some godan doshi, the u verbs. To smoke, like tabako or su. And tabako is, you might think the writing is weird because it is hiragana. There's actually kanji for tabako as well. That's why it's also written in hiragana. It wouldn't be wrong to write tabako in katakana, right? But since there is actually a kanji for tabako, or two, a compound kanji, usually tabako is actually written in hiragana. So it would be tabako o su, tabako o sutte, and tabako o suimasu. Right? Not to be like, yeah. To use, we use tsukau, right? Then the te form is tsukatte, tsukaimasu. To help is te tsudao. You might remember this te from reading Yotsuba. This te here is actually hand, right? The kanji for hand. So it's te tsudao. So tetsudatte, tetsudaimasu. To hurry is isogu, isoide, isogimasu. To return a thing, we have kaesu, kaeshite, kaeshimasu. To turn off, like to turn off the light, for example, kesu, keshite, keshimasu. And to stand up, we have tatsu, tatte, tachimasu. Following, we have to carry, motsu, motte, mochimasu. To die, we have shino, shinde, and shinimasu. It's not shimasu, but shinimasu. To play is asobu, asonde, asobimasu. To be absent, which also means kind of to take a break, right? Yasumu, so yasunde, yasumu, yasunde, yasumimasu. To sit down is suwaru, suwatte, suwarimasu. And to enter is hairu, haitte, hairimasu. We look at this kanji later on in more detail. The handwriting looks quite different. Okay, and then we have irregular verbs, well, more or less, right? Only certain parts. So to bring a person is tsurete kuru, right? Often written the kuru part, whether it's conjugated or in its dictionary form. Not always, but quite often is written in hiragana, right? But here I opted in for writing the kanji again, just to signal this really is, you know, a verb and another verb combined by the te form, right? So tsurete ku, tsurete kita, tsurete kimasu, right? So the ku part is the one that gets conjugated. The tsurete stays in its te form. The same thing for to bring a thing. It's just that we use motsu here. So we use the te form of motsu, which is motte, motte ku, motte kite, motte kimasu. And then to call, Genki introduced denwa suru, right? Denwa is just telephone. So denwa suru, denwa shite, and denwa shimasu. Okay, actually, before we go into page 62, let's look at page 61. I was too lazy to put that on the slides. So I'm going to start with the verbs here, and then you can, then we switch. So we have ukiro. The tail form is okite, taberu, tabete, neru, nete, miu, mite, iru, ite, dekakeru, dekakete. So u verbs ending with u. What is the tail form of au? Jameson?
話して。
もう一度 from au?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong line. Out there. Out there.
And then Katya-san, kau, the tail form.
かて。
Katte, very good, very good. Hey, next we have kiku, Jameson.
切って。
Yeah, long e, right? Kite. So it's ki, another e, and then te. Hey, kaku, Katya-san.
書いて。
Kaite, very good. And then for iku, we don't have ite, but this is irregular. And we have ite, right? So e small 2 followed by te. Next, oyogu, Jameson.
Oyoshite. I'm sorry, oyoshite.
Here it is. So u verbs ending with gu. We replace the ending with e and then de. So it would be oyoide, right?
Oyoide. I read my handwriting wrong.
That is okay. So oyoide. Hai, hanasu, Katya-san.
話して。
Hanashite, very good. Matsu, Jameson.
待って。
Matte, very good. So small 2 again, followed by te, matte. Nomu, Katya-san.
飲んで。
Very good. Yomu, Jameson.
読んで。
Very good. Kaeru, Katya-san.
書いて。
Katte, very good. Au, Jameson.
Out there.
Atte, no? We have a, and so even though this Godan Doshi ends with wu, because we know aru, right? It's not amas, it's arimas, right? So we know based on that that this is in fact a u verb. So in there we replace the u in its dictionary form when we want to conjugate into the tail form with a small su and then a te. So it would be atte, a small su, te. Hey, toru, Katya-san.
取って。
Totte, very good. Wakaru, Jameson.
わかって。
Very good. Wakatte. Nobu, Katya-san.
乗って。
Very good. Yaru, Jameson.
やって。
Yeah, very good. And then we have the irregular verbs. We have kuru, which is kite, suru, we have shite, and then benkyu suru. It's the same thing. Benkyu, shite. Very good. Hi. And then, so for page 62, this is what I have. So we write what each person says using te kudasai, right? So I have shashino totte kudasai for ichiban. Next we have kono kanji o oshiete kudasai. Sanban we have kono kaban o motte kudasai. Yonban kono tau o tsukatte kudasai. Goban suwatte kudasai. And okuban hon o motte kitte kudasai. Motte kitte kudasai. Hi. And then actually, there was another one. Roman numeral 2. Okay. So write 3 request sentences using te kudasai. Indicate in the parentheses who you are going to ask to do those things. So what do you have for that? Maybe let's do one each.
I wrote down for Katsuya-san. 立ってください.
Okay. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. Katya-san.
Mine is speaking to a sensei. James wo denwa shite kudasai.
Oh, okay. Yeah. To call James-san. Very good. Very good. Cool. Hi. All right. Next, we have page 63. Pictures below describe what Takeshi did yesterday. Make sentences using to form. So let's go over that real quick. Takeshi-san wa asa okite asa gohan o tabemashita. Asa okite is, so we know asa, right? Morning. So asa okite is like he got up in the morning and then had breakfast, right? So you don't have to use asa. You can just say he got up, like okite, right? Or you can say in the morning or whenever or yesterday he just got up, right? So many ways to say that. Next we had Mado o shimete dekakemashita. 3番図書館に行って本を返しました。And then 電気を消して寝ました。はい。Okay, so I will go home and rest. James-san, what do you have? That is page 63, no, Roman numeral 1.
うちに行って私は寝ます。
Very good. To return home, right? So you can use iku, like, but then it's not clear that you're returning to your home. So, and when you use kaeru, it'll actually have the implication that you're returning to your home. So you can even make it shorter, saying kaette yasumimasu or nimasu, right? So, but it's correct to use as well. Hi, Niban. Mary and Takeshi met and talked for about an hour. Katya-san.
Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa hasamashita. Wait, what? Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa ashtamashita. Wait, what? I don't understand what I wrote down.
Me neither. But let's so Mary-san and Takeshi, or Mary and Takeshi, so you said Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa, so far so good. They met. What is to meet? It does start with a.
Ashita?
Ashita is tomorrow, right? We have au, to meet, right?
Au.
So the te form would be atte. Very good.
Okay.
And then, so Miri-san to Takeshi-san wa atte. So, and then what?
Atte to I honestly don't know. I don't remember what the verb for talk is.
Hanasu.
Hanasu. Hanashi. Hanashi de kara ichiji. Yes.
Okay. Let's look at this. So we have
Okay.
Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa. Very good, because this is the topics. Mary and Takeshi together, right? Because you could say Mary talked with Takeshi, or Takeshi met with Mary and then talked to each other. But here it is really like the topic is Mary and Takeshi together. So
Okay.
Mary-san to Takeshi-san, right? Marked by the particle wa. So very good. Then we have this met part or just to meet, right? Because we don't know the time yet in the Japanese using the te form, but we know that the meeting part happened before whatever came after. So we use the te form here. To meet, we know au. So we can just, and using the te form, since it ends on u, the u gets replaced with a small su and te. So we have atte. And then they talked, hanashimashita, right? So Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa atte hanashimashita. That would mean Mary and Takeshi met and talked, right? Here we have a little bit more information for about an hour. So we say ichijikan is an hour, but about an hour would be gurai or kurai. So the whole sentence would be Mary-san to Takeshi-san wa atte ichijikan gurai hanashimashita.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's 大丈夫です. It's a complex sentence. Okay, so let's go to the sea and swim. Jameson.
海に行って泳ぎましたよ。wait, so hold on. 泳ぎましょう.
Very good, very good. はい、海に行って泳ぎましょう。完璧です. Very good. はい。And then we have 65-1. Oh, yeah, that was science, right? What was it? Yeah, bit of science. Yeah, so we have no smoking, right? So ichiban, can't speak today. Ichiban, tabako sutte wa ikimasen. Do not enter. Well, I actually have it written out. So, haite wa ikemasen. I think that was one of the first signs that I saw when I entered Japan and got off Shibuya station because there was like construction everywhere. So you had the sign like "Do not enter." So it's like "Haite wa ikemasen." It's like, yeah, I know how to read this. Yeah, a long time ago. No photographs. You see that as well. Shashi no totte wa ikemasen. Especially flash photography. I guess religious sites often. And then no food. Tabete wa ikemasen. Right. Okay. So now let's do the textbook together. Actually, there was more. Never mind. I take that back. But I don't have written down more. So we have 65 to, yep.
Yeah, the
Okay.
3 things you're prohibited from doing at some places.
Yeah, thank you. You want to start with one?
Yeah. So I have, what did I write down? 電車で、カリを食べて、食べてはいきます。
いけま
行きません。
せん。
行きません。
Curry. Yeah, no eating curry in the train.
Yeah.
Right. Or curry, which would be him. You can't eat him in the train. Curry.
No cannibalism either. Not allowed.
Very good. Hey, Jameson.
I wrote hikoki. So like a plane.
Yep,
Hikoki. Hikoki. Tabako. Sutte. Waikemasen.
Very good. はい、飛行機でタバコを吸ってはいけません。飛行機 is also, by the way, a very good song by King Gnu. I recommend listening to it. Cool. All right. Okay, let's start with the workbook for now. The other solutions that you have or the other sentences that you wrote, feel free to post them in the homework channel as well, so I can look over them if you want to. Okay, so we had textbook 322 paging, I believe. Yep, that looks right. 322. Okay, so there's quite a bit, right? So we have
comment. I have 320 and 322.
Oh,
Is that wrong? What I have written down is page 320, number 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
322, 323.
You are right.
I only pointed out because 322 and 323 was so much that I just kind of gave up.
Okay.
After going through 320, I just was like, I'm mentally done.
Okay. All right, let's look at this. So if you want to buy a bicycle, who are you going to contact?
Yamada-san via telephone.
Yamada-san. Let's see. Where is he? There. Yeah. Okay, so it's in the middle. The Seiru Jitensha 8000 yen atarashii desu. Denwa shite kudasai. And then yo 7時から11時まで. Very good. Yep. I haven't actually looked at this, so very good. Where will the party be held? Are you going to bring anything? What is that?
Do you want to do it or?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yamashita Sensei no Uchi.
Halloween party. And can you bring anything? Okay. Well, we'll actually go over this.
So yeah, I had a question about this because here it looks like it says tomodachi wo, and then I understood it as bring something good. Like I was like, what? And then I saw also below it, bring drinks. So my assumption is that the first sentence is like, bring something, like wear something, like bring your costume, basically, like a good costume.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but to bring drinks, so this would be what you are asked to do. So the nomimono, something to drink, right? We know nomu, nomimono, something to drink. Or motte kite kudasai. So please bring drinks. So this is the part. Are you going to bring anything? Well, you're being asked to bring drinks, so bring drinks, right? The sentence above that, tomodachi o tsurete kite mo ii desu yo. So tomodachi o tsurete kuru, what does that mean? Tomodachi.
Oh, bring your friends.
Yeah, very good. So in this form, which we covered today, tomodachi o tsurete kite, so the te form followed by mo ii desu, means essentially it is okay to bring your friends. But we cover that today. Okay. So I kind of messed up, but not really. No, I didn't fully read this. So to be honest, I thought it was a good exercise. But yeah, so to answer, I guess, question 2. So James-san said Yamashita Sensei no Uchi. That is the place, right? That is correct. Are you going to bring anything? Well, you can't say no, but that you wouldn't follow what is being asked of you. That'd be rude. So bring drinks, right? Oh yeah. How do you get to the concert hall? Okay.
God help me on this one. I
Okay.
literally didn't understand, and it's like West Station, third exit to the north, exit left, and then a 3-minute walk.
Yeah. Yeah. 西駅 is 出口を出て左へ3分. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because we live in LA, but that made absolutely no sense to me. Is that like actually like a cohesive way to give directions, and how would I even begin to understand that?
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
Because normally don't they say like you want to take this line and you want to exit on this exit, but here it doesn't do that. Like I didn't understand West Station, third exit.
Yeah. It is. Some detailed information missing. Yeah. That.
Oh, okay.
I guess contextually. Yeah, but very good. That's essentially the answer. We still don't know how we get there from here, but okay. So what can you do for winter break from December to January?
So from what I understood, there's like 2 things going on. In November, there's a guitar concert. And then I didn't understand what this was, but it's like a homestay program in Tohoku. And it looks like it's for like a week. And I don't, is that like an Airbnb? Like you could stay here for a week and it's near a mountain and a river that you could visit? Like, is that what the ad says?
So yeah, homestay is very interesting in that, so in a homestay program, you essentially stay at a guest family. So they clear a room for you usually. And then usually what happens, you eat your meals together or something like that. So you kind of are somewhat a part of the family, but then also you, of course, you get to do like touristy things if you wanted to, but it's more of I guess a homestay is more a glimpse of how life in a certain area looks like. So it's not really like travel tourism in a way. It is more like being embedded in the family, and of course that part, having conversations with your guest family, that can be a huge part of the whole experience as well, right? So which is different than an Airbnb, even though some Airbnb hosts are also available as a tour guide or just there to even cook, for example, right? So you have those social interactions, but that is probably at this point in time, well, like pre-COVID, not what most people want anyway from Airbnb, right? They just want a place like somewhere in that has a local charm, right? But don't really want to deal with the owners or the people. So, and the homestay is a little different. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what a homestay is. Yeah, and that is from oh yeah, it is in December, right? So we have December 28th till January 3rd. Oh, by the way, so this is the top card, right? Homestay. Puguramu. So we have the dates, right? And then in parentheses, we have Nichi, right? From the start day, and at the end day, we have Tsuchi or Do, right? Any idea what that could refer to?
So I assume that was the days of the week.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so instead of writing out Nichiyobi, right, you have after the day in parentheses, like Nichi, like this is a Sunday. And then January 3rd, you have in parentheses the Tsuchi kanji for Doyobi, which would be a Saturday. And what does the last sentence mean here? Kirei na yama to kawa no chikaku desu. Any idea?
So I don't know why, but like I thought kirei meant like clean house, but now I realize it's like a pretty mountain and river.
Yeah, very good.
Like nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
To like visit or do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there are. So we had Genki introduced us as well in two ways, right? We have something exists like nani nani wa somewhere else ni arimasu, right? Or just using desu, like there is or is copula. So yeah, context. Okay. Yeah. That is that. You said you had an what was it, guitar concert or something like that?
Yeah, guitar concert was in November because it says, oh, December to January. I see. So okay, so then it's just the Tohoku homestay.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Good job on that one. Okay, so another big one. Hope you're still somewhat fresh. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Oishii. Oh, wow. Okay. Hi. Okay. So there were a couple of things that we had to figure out, right? So those are like 15 lines of Japanese. At least I think Soa-san wrote this, right? Maybe? No, Naomi-san wrote this. Naomi-san wrote this. So luckily her handwriting is much better than Roberto-san's handwriting, which is to be assumed. And she's writing a lot about her favorite restaurant, right? And in this information, in this text, we are asked to find out where the restaurant is, also what food or drinks are at the restaurant. And then we have some multiple choice questions regarding the manager. No, sorry, it was not manager. Mangiare, it's Italian for to eat, of course. But I saw the first line.
Oh, okay. Because I kept looking at that and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. And I got so frustrated that I stopped trying.
Yeah, mangiare. It's also a katakana word, right? So for that, it's like, okay, well, this is just the name of the restaurant. But mangiare is a dictionary form of to eat in Italian. I remember that much. Okay, so it's asking about whether it's big or small, whether it's no, I'm just looking at mangiare wa. Then it's asking whether it's expensive or cheap, or yeah, cost efficient. Then Antonio-san, something about Antonia-san, whether he's a funny or boring person. And then also about foreigners, or if foreigners come to that restaurant or don't come to the restaurant, right? So there's a lot of information. So let's see. So this text starts on the right, right? We have a little indication on top of the page with the reddish one, right? So it's watashi no suki na restaurant, right? So the restaurant that I like. And then we have watashi no suki na restaurant wa Italia ryori no mangiare desu, right? So the restaurant that I like is a Italian cuisine restaurant called Mangiare. Okay. Next sentence, let's pay attention to that one. Eki no minamiguchi o dete, migi e 5分ぐらいです. Any idea what that means?
So that's referring to how to get to it, right? Because, and it's saying it's to the right of the station.
Yeah. So, eki no minamiguchi o dete, what is that part?
Eki no migamiro. Isn't that the station?
Eki is just station. Minamiguchi, Jameson, you need to remember this.
Minamiguchi.
No, it's this kanji.
Do you have your compass?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's directional.
It is directional.
North. It's the north station.
No? No.
Oh, north is the box, isn't it?
The Gucci, so the second kanji in this Minamiguchi is by itself, it's just mouth, right? But in combination with directions like north, east, south, west, it's the exit or entrance, same thing.
The south exit.
Exactly, yeah, south exit. So, and it's Eki no Minamiguchi, which means the station's south exit, right? Okay, and then we have O dete. Dete is the T form of deru, which means to exit, right? So, and so we have this noun phrase, Eki no Minamiguchi, and now we have the particle O, and then dete. So that means you exit or exiting the south exit of the station, right? And then mige,
to the right.
5分ぐらいです. It is about 5 minutes to the right, right? So if you look at A, where's the restaurant? We have our compass. So north is up on the diagram, on the image, right? So south would be below, right? So if we exit the south exit and go to the right, this is going to be C or D?
It's going to be C.
Yeah, it would be C. Very good, because you exit south, right? So you're putting yourself in the position and then you go to the right, right? Which would be C, which is of course left on the diagram, but exactly, it would be about 5 minutes. Very good. So we already know that. Wonderful. So reading on, last syllable on line 4, going into line 5. So, 小さい restaurant です. What does that mean?
Small restaurant.
Yeah, it is a small restaurant. Let's look at exercise C1. Mangiare wa 大きい restaurant です or mangiare wa 小さい restaurant です.
Chisai des.
Chisai des.
Very good. So we already know C1 is 小さい. Very good. Next, we have shefu. So chef, right? Shefu wa イタリア人の Antonio san desu. What does that mean?
So the chef is an Italian dude named Antonio.
Yeah, very good. And then next we have Antonio san wa とっても面白い人です.
He's a very nice person or very pleasant person.
Interesting. Yeah, 面白い is interesting. Yeah, interesting or funny, right? So let's look at C3. We have Antonio san wa 面白い人です or Antonio san wa つまらない人です.
Moshiroi.
Omoshiroi.
Very good. Omoshiroi. Okay. Next we have is it on 20? Oh yeah. Still on line 6. Antonio-san wa, oh no, sorry, sumimasen. So it is line 8. Okay. Antonio-san no yori wa tottemo oishii desu. What does that mean?
Everything he made was delicious.
Yeah, yori. Can't speak today. Ryori is cuisine, but also like cooking. So everything he cooks, yeah, you're right. Yori means cuisine. So Italia yori means Italian cuisine, right? But yori or can also just mean cooking. Okay, so let's see. I don't think we have something there. Okay, I don't find anything. Okay. Yeah. Watashi wa yoku manjare ni ikimasu. What does that mean?
Say it again.
Watashi wa yoku manjare ni ikimasu.
Well, I go there often.
Very good. Yeah, yoku is a frequency word, right? Meaning often. Often or a lot, depending on context. But here it means, yeah, I go there often. Very good. Next we have mangiare de wine o nonde pizza o tabemasu. What does that mean?
They have wine and pizza.
That is implied, and that would be the answer for exercise B, where it says circle the food or drink the writer has at the restaurant. So pizza and wine is the first column, right? So that's the answer. So I'm being nitpicky here. Again, mangiare de wine o nonde pizza o tabemasu. Remember, the previous sentence still has watashi wa as like me as a topic, right? Watashi, I go there often. And then next, you say mangiare de at mangiare, right? De, place of action. Wine o nonde pizza o tabemasu.
Oh, I drink wine and eat pizza.
Exactly, at mangiare.
It's
very good.
Because of te forms. Two actions.
Very good. Exactly. Right. So, so the sentence does not mean that they have wine and pizza, not explicitly. Of course, it's implied, unless she brings her own food and drinks to the restaurant. But for exercise B, where it says circle the food or drink the writer has at the restaurant, you say pizza or wine, pizza and wine, right? So it's wine or nomu, to drink wine, right? Pizza or taberu, to eat pizza. So this becomes wine or nonde pizza or tabemasu. And as James-san said, this is like two actions combined. She's doing both.
Right.
It's
nomi or yeah, okay, got it. It's the te form of it. I was like, what does it mean? Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yep, two actions, very good. Hai. Oh, and then aisukurimu mo oishii desu. Okay, what does that mean?
Ice cream is very delicious.
And here it is mo. It's also, right?
Also.
So what that implies that the wine that she drinks and the pizza she eats is also delicious. So and since she's making that statement, this is delicious, that also means that she has it. So for B, we can also circle aisukurimu, ice cream as well. Okay, next we have ここでいつもたくさん食べます。So that just means that she always いつもたくさん a lot 食べます。Like over here, I always eat a lot. Okay. よりは安いですから。Okay, what does that mean?
I forgot what yesterday means.
Yesterday? 昨日
I honestly don't know. I don't recognize either of those vocab words.
Okay, so yori, right, is cuisine, the cooking, right, the food, right?
Okay.
Wa yasui desu.
Cheap.
It is cheap,
Yasui.
yeah, inexpensive. And then followed by kara.
So it starts with inexpensive items.
Different kara, the one that we covered 2 weeks ago. It's the reason.
Huh? Oh,
the reason.
Right.
So she said that she always eats there a lot, right? And then you have yori wa yasui desu ka, because the food is inexpensive. Yeah, it's cheap. Very good. So let's look at C2. Manjare wa takai desu. Manjare wa yasui desu.
Yasui desu.
Yasui desu. Very good. It's cheap because takai is expensive.
Expensive.
Very good. Hey, and then we have gaikokujin mo takusan kimasu. What does that mean?
Gaikoku no, isn't that like school kids?
Gaikoku.
Gaikoku, like college kids.
Let's look at
gaikoku, high school kids.
No. Let's look at the kanji. Gaikokujin. We know all of them. Yeah, foreigner, because we know how to write them, right? We have the first kanji is soto, outside, right? Then we have kuni, country, and then we have hito, person. And together gaikokujin, right? So yonman, let's see yonman manjare ni gaikokujin ga kimasu or manjare ni gaikokujin ga kimasen. Kimasu. Yep. Very good. The foreigners come also to manjare. Okay. And then last sentence, minasan mo kite kudasai.
Lots of people come here.
Minasan mo kite kudasai. Jameson?
Oh.
Did you say something?
It's everybody should come here.
Yeah, everybody should say come here, right? So
she's saying minasan, so everybody, right?
Yeah, so and essentially then, please tell everyone. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, to come. Yeah. Because the other one would be key to ask someone to come, but that would make sense here. Yeah, because it's kita kudasai. Hey, very good. See, it wasn't too bad. But I acknowledge it's a lot, and it does take mental energy because it's learning. It is learning after all. Okay. Oh, why am I putting my book away? Let's read dialogues. Page 146. So we have Sora-san and Robato-san. And I think the both of you should read, if that's fine with you.
Okay.
Let's start with dialogue 2. After class. Remember, Robert didn't have his best day at school. Katya-san said that he's just a bad student. Maybe he is. Let's find out. So, はい、どうぞ。
I'll be Sora. Roberto さん、今日は大変 right? My weather でしたね. So like good weather today?
ちょっと待って。We had that on last Thursday. Let me okay. Remember this one?
Yep.
Tie and up.
Oh, something. That's right. Something bad has happened. Hen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Roberto-san, 今日は大変でしたね. So you had a bad day today.
Mm-hmm.
After Sora-san no.
What's a no?
It's another no.
Mm-hmm.
ノートを書いてもいいですか?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
いいですよ.
Arigato. Sugu kaishimasu.
Roberto-san, 明日テストがありますよ.
Eh? 本当ですか?
ロベルトさん、金曜日に休みましたからね.
じゃあ今日は家に帰って勉強します.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, there's only a couple of things that we do not know yet, which is really just a second sentence, I would say, right? 後でソラさんのノートを借りてもいいですか? Which just means, can I borrow your notebook later? Right? The rest, I would say, is pretty understandable. So, any questions on the dialogue?
So just to be sure that I understand, Sora-san's basically like, hey, like you're not doing very well, huh? And Roberto's like, can I borrow your notebook? And Sora's saying like, we have a test tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Roberto's saying like, oh okay, like I can give it back to you on Sunday or something. Is that wrong?
Yeah, maybe let's look over it together.
Okay.
I think you got the gist of it. So, Roberto-san, 今日は大変でしたね. So, it is pointing out that, Robert had a tough time in class today, right? But it's also a little bit softer, right? I would assume it's more like, it's not too much like, man, you suck, but it's like, you had a hard time today, right? I was like, yeah. And then Robert's like, yeah, can I borrow your notebook later? Right? And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, いいですよ. Right? So, which is one way to answer the whole てもいいですか question, which we will cover in a bit, right? Robert says, thank you, すぐ返します. I'll return it soon, right? So she agreed to lending him her notebook, and he ensured, he's saying, I'll return it soon. And then it's a little bit of a conversation changer that, Robert, tomorrow we have a test, I'm telling you. And Robert's like, really? Honto desu ka? Is it true? Right? And then Soa-san says, yes. And then Roberto-san, 金曜日に休みましたかね? So this is interesting in that here so Robert is surprised. And Soa-san says, yeah, because, you weren't here on Friday, right? So, because 金曜日に休みました means just to take a break on, or to be absent on Friday, like he wasn't absent. He was absent on Friday. And then kara ne means like, well, you didn't know about it because you were not here on Friday, that we have a test tomorrow. So there is a lot more. So the reason, like using kara behind a statement can essentially tie in into a previous sentence that the other person said, which sometimes might be just honto desu ka? Like, is it so? So there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of things going on here. But yeah, the use of kara means here essentially, yeah, that's why you didn't know about the test. Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, Robert says, じゃあ、well, 今日は家に帰って勉強します. Well, then I'll go home and study, right? Didn't have to use the 家に here because 帰って just has the meaning of returning home anyway. And I personally would have used uchi or chitaku depending on speech level. Ie is more like, yeah, I go back to the home. But anyway, it's Robert. Okay, let's also read dialogue 3 on the next page. So we have Oba-san and Robato again. So the two of you.
Okay. すみません。この
バス
は、桜病院へ来ますか？
行きますよ。どうぞ座ってください。
いえ、けどです。すげありませんから。
そうですか。じゃあ、にむをも持ちましょうか。
あ、どうもすみません。
Very good. Okay, so we have すみません。このバスは桜病院に行きますか? Like, excuse me, does this bus go to Sakura Hospital? Right? Just the name of the hospital. And 行きますよ. Robert. Like, okay, well, that's fine, I guess. It's like, yeah, it's going, I'm telling you. どうぞ座ってください. So, okay, well, please sit down, right? おばあさん says, いいえ、結構です. So this 結構です kind of means like it's enough or it's okay, but can also mean no thank you in this case, right? It really depends on the context and intonation, because 結構です or 結構 can also be said very hostile, but here so it's meaning no, it's fine. I'm okay. すぐ降りますから. No, because I'm getting off soon, right? Because I'm getting off soon, I'm okay. No, thank you. And then Roberto says, そうですか? じゃあ荷物を持ちましょうか? So 荷物, right, is I guess the baggage or her bag. Or mochimashouka means, so he's offering essentially to carry her bag for her. And that's another usage of the mochimashouka. Like, shall I or shall we do something, right? In this case, it's more offering for assistance. That's where you can use the mashouka form. And then finally, Oba-san says, どうもすみません. Thank you. So that is all there is to this dialogue, really. Okay, so let's go into the 2 grammar points. So the てもいい, right, is, or てもいいです, てもいいですか, right, is a phrase which expresses permission or concession, taken from the Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar, page 471. So, examples. We had in the dialogue essentially, 後でソラさんのノートを借りてもいいですか? May I borrow your notebook later, Sora? So the 借りてもいいですか means essentially, may I borrow? Like, 借りる, which is godan doshi. That's why the te form is karite. So we have to borrow in its te form, followed by mo ii desu ka, meaning may I borrow. And then in the dialogue, So-san actually said ii desu yo, right? Which is perfectly fine to answer that. But you can also say, hai, karite mo ii desu, right? So you have the te mo ii desu or the te mo ii desu ka, right? It's both are fine to use. So the te mo ii form are both fine to use in question and answer. That's what I want to show here, right? This is one example where you can, here it's kind of reverse, that we start with the question, right? Having the ka, and then in the answer, we essentially just drop the ka to make a statement. So I guess in a sense, karite mo ii by itself is, it just means the permission to borrow, right? asking 借りてもいいですか? May I borrow? 借りてもいいです. It's okay to borrow. You can borrow it. Okay. So all of this verb in its T form followed by もういいですか? Or もういいです. So you know what? Let's practice this. Page 159 page 159. So we have Roman numeral 4, 写真を撮ってもいいですか? Right? And then we have exercise A. Look at the pictures below and ask if it's okay to do these things. So for the example, person is asking, is it okay to take pictures? So just a short sentence, 写真を撮ってもいいですか? Would be a okay question to ask here. Can we do the other ones? So ichiban would be a question to, is it okay to smoke here?
Oh my God. The audacity. So that's tobacco. Tobacco. Sue, right? So it'd be tobacco sutte desu ka? No, sutte mo ii desu ka?
Very good. And you touched on something interesting here, that in more colloquial talk, the mo can be dropped, right? So you said tabako o sutte ii desu ka, which is fine in more conversational Japanese, but you also corrected yourself in more formal settings, which this is, I guess, appropriate. Well, maybe not that question specifically. I share your concern there, the audacity. But
look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, I will stab you in the eyes with a cigarette. Like, how dare you? How dare you even ask me this question?
It's a very good tatemae, though, because it's like, no, it's like, I will not show you that I'm going to stab, but I'm going to stab you. So very good interpretation. Yeah. So tabako o sutte mo ii desu ka? Very good. Hey, Niban, is it okay to enter the sacred Buddhist hall? Jameson?
はい。入ってもいいですか?
Very good. 入ってもいいですか? Sanban, is it okay to sit? The face.
Sorry, to sit is
to sit down is suvaru.
Suraru. So suwatte mo ii desu ka?
Very good. Suwatte mo ii desu ka? Hey. Can I what do you say? Well, it's an album. So
me? Meter.
You yeah, to look at. Hey, Jameson. Is it okay to look at?
見てもいいですか?
Yeah, 見てもいいですか? Very good. Goban, Katli-san, is it okay to take a shower?
Sorry, let me look it up.
Shower.
Abiru. So shower o atte?
Abiru?
Abiru.
And that's
shower o abite mo ii desu ka?
Yeah, very good. Shao abite mo ii desu ka? Very good. Right. And then Rokuban. is it okay to close the window? That would be nanaban. Aircon o kashitemo ii desu ka? Is it okay to turn off the air conditioner?
You can turn off a window.
Now, to close the window, so we have mado o shimeru. We have to close the window is mado o shimeru. So what would be, is it okay to close the window? Or may I close the window?
It would be shimete mo ii desu ka?
Yeah, very good. Mado o shimete mo ii desu ka? Very good. And then nanaban, we had aircon or cooler or keshite mo ii desu ka? Very good. Okay, cool. And moving on, that didn't take long. That's good. And very well done. Yeah, so the T form is super useful, right? So many use cases for the T form. And not just for verbs, which we only covered, but also later on, especially for adjectives. Okay, but now let's look at our final point is the mashouka, right? So we of course know the must forms of verbs, and we already covered mashouka. In this case, we have nimotsu mochimashou ka? Shall I hold your bag or carry your bag, right, for you? So this is really offering assistance in this case, right? So let's actually look. If I remember correctly, yes. So I'm just gonna open page 153 real quick. This is the and read the text of grammar point 7 because Genki actually did a decent job here, I guess. So it says in lesson 5 we learned mashouka, meaning let's, right? Let's do something. So mashouka is also used in the sense of let me do in offering assistance, like imotsu mochimashouka, right? If you see somebody having a hard time opening the lid of a bottle, for example, you can offer help by saying yarimashou ka, watashi ga yarimashou ka, right? They say it as I'll do it, but yeah, I mean, you're offering assistance, right? Yarimashou ka comes from yaru, right? It's a more informal version of su, right? Yaru. Yotsuba says yaru a lot, right? So watashi ga yarimashou ka. Another example, or to a person who is carrying a heavy bag, which we already covered. Nimotsu o mochimashou ka? Shall I carry your bag? Right? This is really all there is to it. So let's look at 162 page 162. We have Roman numeral 7, Terebi o keshimashou ka? So we have, yeah, let's do this exercise as pair work. So we have one person essentially using the mashouka form, right? So for example, in the example, Terebi o keshimashou ka, right? Because we have a kid studying at the desk and the television might be a distraction, right? And then your option your options to answer this is say sumimasen onegai shimasu, like can you do that for me, essentially, right? Sumimasen, kind of apologetic but also saying thank you. Then onegai shimasu, meaning I'm begging you, more literally, but yeah, please do, right? Or you can say iie daijoubu desu. It's like, no, it's all right, right? So those are your options essentially. So if you look at number 1, right, it looks like Roberto san or someone is having a hard time with the heat, right? You have sent you a fan. And so, yeah, I interpret that as, okay, it's really hot in here, right? And then you have another person offering to open the window. So how would you say that?
So you probably want to open. So, 開けてますよか? No? Mashioka?
So, aku is to,
Aku.
or actually, akeru. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, akumasyoka?
Aki.
Akimasyoka?
Sumimasen. There are multiple ways to say open. Here it's akeru, right? So akemasu. So
akimashouka?
Yeah, mado akimashouka.
Okay.
And then James-san, assuming you're the person suffering under the heat, what would you say?
Yeah, daishobu.
Why?
Stubborn.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What about Niban?
Niban. What's it trying to do? It's trying to dry.
He's trying to help.
Oh,
So he's offering help.
Yeah.
I see.
Remember what to help?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tetsuda. So the must form. Tetsuda. Mashoka.
Close. So the dictionary verb is tetsudao, right? And then to turn things into the must form for godan doshi, which this clearly is a godan doshi, tetsudao, right? We move the last syllable into its equivalent I row. So for u, it's I, right? So tetsudao becomes tetsudai, and then we are in the must stem form. So tetsudaimasu or tetsudaimashouka. Tetsudaimashouka.
Tetsudaimashouka.
Hi, onegaishimasu.
Hai onegaishimasu or sumimasen, onegaishimasu, both are fine. Very good. Hi, Samban.
This is to make a call. So denwa mashioka.
Denwa is right. And then what is the to make a call in its dictionary form?
Denwa to make a call. Why can't I find the thing? Okay. Denwa tsuru. So denwa tsu. It's an irregular verb. Oh fuck. Denwa. Denwa shimasyoka.
Shimashouka.
Shoka.
Shimashouka. Denwa shimashouka.
Okay. So denwa shimashoka.
Sumimasen. Onegaishimasu.
Very good. Hi, Yonban. I think the example is still on the slide. We covered this a few. Right? This is the scenario, right?
Oh, yeah. But I can't read kanji very well.
Oh, sumimasen. So here, I mean, we can use kaban, right? But nimotsu, and then to carry is.
荷物を持つセコンド動詞持つ So 持ちましょう
持ちましょうか. Right. So even though we haven't, if you look at the slide for a second, so this is nimotsu, right? Nimotsu, and then this kanji here, and it's a kunyomi reading is just mo. So mochi ma shou ka.
持ちましょうか
So it would be すみません、お願いします。
Yep. すみません、お願いします. Very good. Hey, go on. Like, shall I bring wine? We just want wine.
Oh, okay. So that would be to bring a thing, right? So that's motte kuru, which is an irregular verb. Motte kimashou ka?
Yeah, very good. 持ってきましょうか? Wine を持ってきましょうか? Shall I bring wine?
持ってきましょうか?
Hi. お願いします。
すみません、お願いします。Yeah, very good. はい、6番。Seems dark.
So he wants to turn it on. So that's sukeru. And it's a root verb, so sukeimasu. So how do you say light?
How do you say light?
I don't know. Let's find out. Oh right, it's hikari. Hikari o sukeimashou ka?
I doubt we have hikari. Hikari is correct, but okay, denki. Because denki is also used for electricity, but also for light. So yeah, it was introduced in this chapter. Yeah, denki. Okay, we don't know the kanji for den yet, but the key is the same as in tenki, for example. So denki. Please one more time using denki.
Denki o is sukeimashou ka?
Very good. Thank you. Sukemashou ka.
すみません、お願いします。
Very good. はい。7番。
It's 写真を something.
Something, yeah. So 写真を撮る, right? To take a picture.
写真を撮りましょうか?
Very good. 写真を撮りましょうか? Very good.
すみません、お願いします。
Very good. はい。And number 8, 8番. Seems like some cold wind is blowing in.
窓を しめましょうか。
Very good. 窓を閉めましょうか。
すみません、お願いします。
Very good. Very good. Okay, cool. All right. The good. Let's go over. Maybe it's something that you want to bookmark, because we have on 165 page 165. We have some useful expressions, right? So on the slides, there's a couple. So まっすぐ行く is to go straight. 左に曲がる to turn left. 曲がる kind of also means to bend, right? So 左に曲がる would be to turn left. 右に曲がる to turn right. 道 which is the same like way, like Budo, the way of the warrior, right? This Michi is the do part, but it also means, of course, street. So Michio Wataru, to cross. Watari Dori is the no, I forgot what's in English. Watari Dori is like a wandering bird. Shoot. It's a nice song too, by Alexandros, I believe. We also have Michino, and here the Hidari, so it has the kunyomi reading. Hidari Gawa, Gawa is like the side. So Michino Hidari Gawa, the street's left side or the left side of the street, right? Michino Migi Gawa, right side of the street. And then Hitotsume no Shingo. So here we have the two kind of the generic counters in combination with me. So we have Hitotsume, Futatsume, etc. And then Shingo is traffic light, right? So Hitotsume no Shingo, the first traffic light, and then you can say, oh, turn left, turn right, whatever, right? And Futatsu, like two, right? Futatsume no Kado. Kado is corner. So Futatsume no Kado is second corner. So those are some useful expressions. So if you look at the dialogue on the page on the bottom, right, we have Sumimasen, Yubin Kyoku wa doko desu ka? Right? Excuse me, where's the post office, right? And then Masugu itte, Mitsume no kado o migi ni magatte kudasai. Yubin kyoku wa migi gawa ni arimasu yo. So you can, with some practice, give directions and listen to directions. I guess in the world of these things, right, might not be too necessary, but it's certainly good to know. So masugu, go straight. So masugu itte, right? So go straight. Mitsume, the third. Mitsume no kado, so the third corner. O migi ni magatte, turn right at the third corner. Saying kudasai. So please turn at the third corner. And then finally, Yubin Kyoku, as for the post office, Yubin Kyoku wa migi gawa no migi, here's migi gawa ni arimasu yo. So migi gawa is just the right side. So it's going to be at the right side, right? So here I put down Michi no migi gawa for some reason, which is also correct, but you can just say migi gawa ni arimasu yo. And don't forget to say domo arigatou gozaimasu when you're the one receiving directions. Okay? So this is, might be something to look over. I find those exercises to be not necessarily useless to giving and receiving directions, but it is something that you'll forget because you're not using it a lot, most likely, right? But those the vocabulary here on the slide is just, to expose you to this. And I think it's valuable to look at this page, and maybe there will be an exercise or two that uses this vocabulary. But unlike other teachers, I wouldn't focus too much on this because it's not that useful. Okay. And with that, kanji time. Oh, let me actually turn my camera on real quick, because last time I ran out.
Hachikan desu.
Yay. Kanji time. Okay. So this is on. Video settings. 1 second. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So we have kyo, which in itself means just capital, right? I guess the capital as in the place to hang out with a bunch of idiots. And oh, that's good. I don't need to speak further. I see your smiles. How you interpret this? I'm just aware, like this comment might not age well.
It's true, depending on what happens in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So so this by itself is just kyo, right? Let me write you Tokyo, because to as higashi, like east, right? Because we know Tokyo as Tokyo, which is the eastern capital, right? Formerly known as Edo. Tokyo would be something like that, right?
And Kyoto's is just the reverse of that, right?
No, unfortunately not. Because this one, to my knowledge, actually does not have a short to. Because Kyoto is long kyo, but then just to, not to Kyoto. And it's a different kanji, but I think we'll learn this in a couple of weeks. So that's that. Oh, there's also actually an expression, jokyo. So we know this one, right? We know ue. But here it becomes jokyo and then tsu. And jokyosu, so jo means up, right? So jokyosu just means to go to the capital, really. Like I'm actually not sure where that came from. Maybe geographically, yeah, I have no idea. But this is something that you might come across, and I thought it, might be a nice touch, even though you might not use it that much. But we already know ue, right? And so jokyosu, to go to the capital. Next, we've seen this quite a lot. We have ko for child, right? Or its onyomi reading is she, which we'll probably use pretty soon, right? So child, usually in more formal Japanese, we would use kodomo, right? instead of just using ko. But we can also, of course, say onna no ko, for example, right? So we know onna no, and then 1, 2, 3. So onna no ko. What is onna no ko?
The woman's child.
Ah, yeah.
No?
I can see
Or
that.
a female child.
I mean, this is all. Yeah, it's female child, so it's girl. Yeah.
Okay.
Onna no ko. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So onna no ko is just girl. And then just to be aware, this is even though, and I kind of paused, right? So those are 3 strokes, right? Even though the first and the second one, they kind of look together, right? And what I usually do is I don't lift my brush or pen or whatever up for the second one. But just note that there's 3 strokes because there's this one here, right? 1, and then you have the second one, 2. So I guess 1, 2, 3, kind of like that. It's not like this. Might be important if you are being asked, because there's also actually like kanji exams and where you might have to know, it's like, oh, how many strokes does this kanji have? Which is the second one, etc. Yeah. Next we have au, to meet, right? 6 strokes. Yep. Onyumi reading, which we'll cover right after this kanji, is kite, but here just au, to meet. Okay, moving on. So this is sha as in kaisha. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strokes. And again, the 7th stroke, the last one, is a little longer than the 5th stroke, right? So the right part of the kanji is essentially the tsuchi part, the do, as in do yobi. Right? And then do this. So this together would be kaisha, which means company. Oh, but also, but shakai, which is the opposite order, is society. So we have kaisha, company, and shakai, which means society. Oh, I will forever associate this kanji with Meiri-san. So this is taka. Takai! Soromo takai desu ne? It's on Yomi reading is ko, for example, in koko for high school. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 10 strokes. Takai. Oh, koko as in high school. And next one, we have bun or mon. Also mo, sometimes like moji for just character. So bun by itself just means sentence, right? But we can also use it, for example, with bungaku, which means literature. So we have bungaku for literature. And you can also see that there's a little bit of a difference in the printed version versus the handwritten version. So the last stroke here in the handwriting doesn't really attach, right, on the second line, but they're close enough. And then next we have kai, as in kaeru, like to return home. To return home. And then we also have kikoku, for example, to return to one's country. We have our little kuni on top. So then our kaeru, the kanji that we're learning right now, becomes ki, and then we have our kuni, which then is koku, kikoku. which is the return to one's country. And then finally, we have hai, as in hairu, or also to insert, which is ireru, which we haven't, which is not a vocabulary we have encountered yet, but hairu we know to enter. Also, new is the onyomi reading. And like I pointed out earlier in today's lesson, that the typed kanji looks somewhat different than the handwritten one, right? Not to be confused with hito, right? The strokes are the same, just essentially just flipped, I would say. Yeah. So hairu. Right. And then also, for example, to oh, of course, you know deguchi, right? Exit. You know deguchi. And now we can also do iriguchi. So we have and sometimes what you see is actually the hiragana is not there in iriguchi, but this is the version that Genki teaches. Iriguchi. And then where this kanji takes the new, the onyomi reading of new on is an new sha, which means to enter the company. We have new. New sha. I believe that one is also, the new sha should also be at the end in the kanji section of Genki. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's look at the homework. So we have page 64 and the workbook. Okay, so ask the following people if it's okay to do the following things using te mo ii desu ka, right? To enter a room, look at pictures, turn on the TV, something of your own, etc. To teacher in class. Yeah, I guess those make sense. Next, we have pages 66 through 68 using kara and ma shou ka. 67 is a little bit more freeform, right? So answer the following questions in Japanese, like asa okite nani o shimasu ka? So what do you do essentially after you get up? 68 is again listening comprehension, and finally pages 142, 141, which is just kanji exercise. Yeah, so 141, all the kanji that we have covered all of those, not just today and the last session, but also even before. And that is it. Cool. And if you can, of course, learn the chapter 7 vocabulary, which is on page 168 and 169, and then also read and listen to all of the chapter 7 dialogues afterwards, probably. Cool. All right. gonna stop the share. I'm gonna share the slides with you in the chat.
Sorry, one more time. Chapter 7 vocabulary and review what pages?
Yeah, so learn the vocabulary and then also read and or listen to the dialogues of that chapter 7.
Got it.
There's going to be, I think there were 3 dialogues again, maybe 2.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me share the slides with you. Sorry, didn't get to writing today after all.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you got the lesson slides in the chat. I'll also upload them later. And that's it for today.
Yay.